It's a beautiful evening in Madison, Wisconsin, and Breese Stevens Field is the scene of a tasty-looking cup clash between two sides who begun 2024 very well. It's Forward Madison and 1 Knoxville. It's round 3 of the Jägermeister Cup on ESPN Plus, presented by Dairyland Insurance. I'm Donnie Barnes. Let's take a look at the Jägermeister Cup standings through 2 rounds of this competition. Both of these sides have won 1 and lost 1 in the group stage. They're both 2 points behind Lexington. Remember that only the group winners are assured of qualifying for the semifinal knockouts. There will be a wildcard team based on total goals scored, but neither of these sides want to dig themselves an early hole in this competition. So that makes tonight a crucial swing match in Group 2. There will be a total of 8 rounds, remember, in the group phase of this competition. So this is 3 out of 8 tonight. Gets late early in a cup competition like this. Forward Madison have shown improved depth this year. One of the players who's given them an additional boost is Devin Boyce, former League One champion with Union Omaha. He spent last season with Greenville, but he's already added 3 goals and an assist in all competitions for the Mingos this season, including a gorgeous curler last week in Spokane as part of a 3-0 win for Madison. Head coach Mac Glazer mentioned him in our conversation this week, saying he's added a ton to the squad this season. It is a much improved squad in terms of depth for Madison this year. For 1 Knox, Angelo Kelly is their leader, both in terms of what he does on the pitch and off. He's part of their leadership group. He's contributed 3 goals and 2 assists as well, and head coach Mark McKeever said he's a guy who oozes humility and a guy that I can move from position to position. He just goes and does Angelo. McKeever said, I'm an emotional guy, and Angelo allows me to be stable and grounded, because I look at him and say, well, if he can do it, I can do it as well. We'll see if Angelo Kelly can continue his hot run here tonight. Breese Stevens Field, always one of the most vibrant and colorful atmospheres in the USL. Mark McKeever said the players like it. It's a little intimidating at times, but this is an opportunity for us to grow. Which side will take a big step towards contention in Group 2? Who will fall further behind? Starting 11s and kickoff are next, presented by Dairyland Insurance.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. The procession onto the pitch this evening here at Breese Stevens Field. Forward Madison and 1 Knoxville SC. Round 3 out of 8. In the group phase of this inaugural Jägermeister Cup. Let's look at our starting 11s tonight, presented by Madison Concourse Hotel. And first for the home side, who make 4 changes from last week's league victory. in Tacoma as they welcome back Timmy Mayle, Faraday Sosa, Derek Gephardt, and Nazim Bartman to their starting 11. They list their lineup as a 4-4-2. This will be very fluid once the match begins, of course. It can look more like a 4-3-3. Sometimes they might even drop 3 at the back. And head coach Matt Glazer always quick to make adjustments after kickoff if he sees something he doesn't totally like. 4-1 Knoxville, meanwhile, they make 3 changes from last week's league match, their 2-0 win at Central Valley Fuego. And Shooty Innocent comes back in, as does Francis Ross, and DJ Benton is in at right back. This will often look more like a 4-3-3 in practice, as Angelo Kelly will often play that advanced attacking midfield role. Look for Callum Johnson and Charlie Matchell to drop back and play more of the defensive holding midfielder spot, but they will get forward as necessary. And look for Stuart Ritchie to overlap and make some runs down that left flank as well, out of that left back position. Really good battle of goalkeepers tonight. Sean Lewis between the sticks for Knoxville. Of course, he was the Golden Gloves winner in USL League One last year. Bernd Shipman, who played every minute in goal for Forward Madison last season, stopped a few penalties as well. Keep that in mind because, of course, this being the Jägermeister Cup, if we're level at the end of 90 minutes, it would go to a penalty shootout. In this competition, both teams would claim at least 1 point for a 90-minute draw, but then they would have the penalty shootout to determine a second point for the winning side. So that penalty prowess could come into play at the end of this evening. Forward Madison in their white kits with the pink and blue stripes. This evening, they will kick us off. Our referee is Amin Hadzik as he blows his whistle, and we're in motion in Madison. Both of these teams know they can't fall further behind in Group 2. Who will be right in the mix? Who will be looking up at the rest of the group after tonight? See Knoxville in the blue and orange kits. As Forward Madison, who've scored a lot of early goals in recent weeks. Bouncing ball for Derek Gephardt, who's able to take it down deftly by that touchline. Gephardt facing up his defender. Madison scored in the first minute and in the second minute, back-to-back weeks. A couple weeks ago, they've scored in the opening half an hour in 5 of their last 6 games in all competitions. Matt Glazer and his coaching staff really happy with the way this team is coming together, although they, of course, as any coach would this time of the year, emphasize that it's still early. Mark McKeever's side, meanwhile, got off to an excellent start, winning their first 4 matches in all competitions. Stumbled a bit after that before their 2-0 win at Central Valley last week. Nazim Bartman is fouled. First whistle of the match. First free kick coming up for Forward Madison. Atmosphere at Breese Stevens, noisy as usual on this gorgeous Saturday evening. Temperatures were in the 70s today. See a lot of the fans in short sleeves. Getting toward that best weather time of the season in the Midwest. Pinged into the midfield, chested down. Madison with a chance to probe this right side. Well, Knoxville okay with sitting back and defending when they need to, especially away from home. Mark McKeever says he always wants his sides to have the ball whenever possible, but that's not always possible, especially on the road. Here's Gephardt now. Gephardt for Madison. Stepping onto his left, cutting it across. Chested down on the acrobatic kick. Took a deflection and goes all the way toward that right side, where Sosa lifts it back into the mix. Flying header comes in, and it's over the bar and out. Strong early attack from Forward Madison. There is Devin Boyce, who we highlighted in our open. Mentioned he scored 3 times already in all comps. If he missed his goal at Spokane last week, worth going back and watching. Picked up the ball outside the 18-yard box and curled it into the far corner. Sean Lewis, formerly of Indy 11 at the USL Championship level. Last year's Golden Gloves winner, as mentioned, in USL League One. phenomenal shot stopper, does a lot of other things well. This is from distance and just wide. Ambitious and not far away from Gio Calixto. Nearly scored a highlight reel goal in the 4th minute. Well, it came directly from this kick from Sean Lewis. Nobody actually won the initial header. It just fell to Calixto, and he had a hit. And boy, that was close. He had Burn Shipman scrambling, and if that had been on the frame, I don't think Shipman was getting there. Devin Boyce flying through the air there, winning that header, but illegally so. So free kick for the visitors in this 5th minute. Callan Johnson got himself stuck underneath Boyce and was the man fouled. Angelo Kelly being harassed. He's tackled off it by Jimmy Villalobos. Just see Mark McKeever for a moment in the gray polo shirt at the bottom of your screen. He sat back down in the One Knox dugout now. Mark McKeever, originally from Motherwell in Scotland. He's been One Knoxville's head coach since they joined the USL in 2022. Managed them in USL League Two in their first season, and then making the move up to League One last year. Finished in 8th, missed the playoffs by a couple points. Added some more goal scoring this year. McKeever previously had managed at the Division II NCAA level very successfully with Young Harris College for 18 years. 222 matches against only 72 defeats during that time. Also managed during the summers with Des Moines Menace in League Two for several years and won a League Two title in 2021. Several of his One Knoxville players played on that team. So we have a One Knox player down here. That's the reason for the stoppage. You always hate to see the player's head being looked at. Well, that was a collision between two teammates. You see the trainer giving the thumbs up to the One Knox bench. So hopefully that's good news for Charlie Matchell. Played for Lexington last year in League One. Originally from Newcastle, came up through Newcastle's youth system. His brother is an actor in England, Charlie Matchell. Appeared on programs on the BBC, a number of stage productions. Hopefully he's able to continue here early in this one, as he and Mark McKeever talk it over. Madison trying to work up their momentum again. Christian Cheney has made a really strong start to the year. Missed some time with injury, but has looked great in recent weeks since returning. Bouncing ball, still might fall. And now Angelo Kelly is there to sweep up the danger and put it out into touch. Forward Madison creating some chaos there just outside the 6-yard box. And they have another player down, One Knox. appears to be Jordan Skelton. It's turned into a choppy opening 10 minutes. Not that it's either player's fault. This time it looks like a leg that's being worked on. It was Cheney who did so well with his hold-up play, then able to get turned toward goal and play one over the top. Trying to play in Nazim Bartman, and Skelton held his ground really well, but got himself twisted around in the process. Skelton, another guy, is from Newcastle. He and Charlie Matchell both hail from the same city in England. And for North Carolina FC last year, also previously played for Tormenta in League One. You see Angelo Kelly making the motion that Jordan Skelton's not going to be able to continue. So that'll be a blow for one Knox if Skelton's not able to continue. Normally, never want to substitute one of your starting center backs if you can at all avoid it. It looks as though they'll have to do it in just the 10th minute. See more help being motioned onto the pitch. Suspect Skelton will need assistance off the playing surface. So a somber scene, and we certainly wish Jordan Skelton all the best. It's a shame on multiple fronts. A shame for Knoxville, a shame for Jordan Skelton, and it's a shame for this game itself because it's totally halted the early momentum that was building. Both teams started positively, especially the home side, and one Knox had a couple of decent counter opportunities. Angelo Kelly and Nazim Bartman, I think, we're exchanging pleasantries. Skelton back to his feet. Not requiring too much assistance, at least, but don't think he's going to be able to continue nonetheless. So if Skelton indeed has to leave the match, we'll see who Mark McKeever brings off his bench to take that center back spot alongside Sievert Haugley. I think it would likely be Jalen Chrysler, but we'll see. And there indeed is Chrysler jogging onto the pitch. So Chrysler on for Skelton, officially in the 13th minute. After about a 5-minute delay, which means we'll have quite a bit of stoppage time at the end of this half, Jacob Kroll to take this throw in for Madison. Initial flick on was won by the Mingos. Second ball back up into the air. Calixtro a good touch. That took a deflection off a Madison player. It's out for a goal kick. So it's almost like kicking off again. We had those two injury delays. Here's Cheney, more good hold-up play from him to bring teammates into the play. Turn ball, trying to play in Cheney, but miscued off the side of the foot. This will be another goal kick for One Knox. It's a full slate of Jägermeister Cup games in USL League One tonight. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Chattanooga Red Wolves home to Lexington. Tormento will face Richmond also in about 10 minutes. And then later this evening out west, Spokane Velocity against Greenville Triumph. That's a really interesting matchup out in Spokane. First time Greenville have made that trip out there. And Northern Colorado square off with Charlotte Independence. Yoko off to a slow start this year in the league, but they racked up a 5-1 win against One Knox in the second round of this competition a couple weeks ago. It's their attack, which had been stagnant in the early weeks of the season, suddenly roared to life in a huge way. See if they're able to continue that tonight at home against Charlotte. Burn Shipman hasn't seen much of the ball in these early minutes. There's good one-touch football for Madison out of the back. Devin Boyce just got it stuck under his foot and loses out to Francis Ross. Francis Ross, a player, has had an interesting career, played in the Scottish Premier League with Aberdeen. He's also played in the Eredivisie, the top flight in Holland. Here's Calixto now. Nearly scored that spectacular half volley in the 4th minute. And DJ Benton into the play. Benton, a champion with NCFC last year, looking to play Calixto down the line. Ushered back to Burn Shipman instead by Mitch Osmond, who's in his 3rd year as the Mingos captain, one of their center backs. Being the backbone of a defense that's been extremely strong this year. Absolutely picture-perfect evening in Madison. Forward Madison, it will be even more perfect with 3 points tonight, but One Knox here to spoil the party if they can, and they're more than capable of that. One Knox starting the night at the bottom of Group 2 because of that 5-1 defeat to Northern Colorado in the last round. Goal differential, the primary tiebreaker in terms of the top spot in the group. Of course, that 4th spot, there are 3 groups, remember, and the 4th member of that semifinal knockout round will be the team that scores the most goals of the non-group winners. This is a great run down the left side by Stuart Ritchie. Finally, he was dispossessed. It's the first time we've seen Ritchie get forward down that left flank. Stuart Ritchie still in his early 20s. But he feels like he's been around for a while. Played for Richmond, then was with Crew 2 last year. After beginning his career at the youth level in Europe. Devin Boyce. Madison like to play a very possession-based style. Their possession has had a lot more purpose this year, or at least a lot more end product, you could say. Madison the last 2 years played a lot of really nice soccer, but it often didn't pay off enough for them on the scoreboard. They weren't able to make their periods of dominance and good play count enough as this free kick goes One Knox's way. It's been a different story so far this year, and especially last week at Spokane in that 3-0 victory. Really good away performance. It's not that Madison had dozens and dozens of chances. They only had 4 shots on target, but they buried 3 of them very clinically. And that's not something we've not been able to say about past Madison teams. Forward Madison and opportunistic, unfortunately, were not words that had gone together very often, but much more so this year. And an opportunity here for Derek Gebhardt. It's Gebhardt into the box with his left foot. It was blocked. Second chance. It's there. Derek Gebhardt opens the scoring. Forward Madison in front in the 19th minute. Opportunistic again with their first shot on target tonight. It's another one that hits the back of the net. And a perfect start in pink and blue. Mingos 1, Knox 0. They won it high up the pitch, and then Gebhardt did the rest. His initial shot blocked, gets a kind bounce, and then hit it first time, and it flashed past Sean Lewis before he could respond. And Lewis has outstanding reflexes. He's great at point-blank range, and this beats him anyway. And the flock end celebrates. Forward Madison, another great start, another goal inside the opening half hour. That's 6 in the last 7 now that they've scored inside 30 minutes. So this beautiful early summer evening looking even prettier now for Forward Madison so far. Knox looked to go charging right back the other way. Mingo's able to bail that out. Well, let's see if Knox have a bit more of the ball. Very defensive start for them. Gephardt's goal in the 19th minute might force them a little higher up the pitch now. Knoxville choosing to rest Kempis Tequila tonight. Tequila had played the second half of that game in Central Valley last week with a bit of an apparent knock. He'd been able to finish the game, but although head coach Mark McKeever didn't mention him among the players who wouldn't be able to feature tonight, he was obviously not in the starting 11, but he is available off the bench. A long way to go in this one, of course, but you start to think about players who could impact the game later. Tequila, certainly one of them, a guy who scored in his last 3 games. Callum Johnson. Out into touch for a Forward Madison throw. Let's look at our keys to the game presented by the Burish Group at UBS. And for Madison, it was draw out and get in behind, which we've already seen them do with that opening goal. Matt Glazer felt that at times those Knox defenders will step up a bit high. And he felt that his team with their speed could get in behind them. And that's part of how that first goal played out. For Knox, either attack the wings or split the center. More on that in just a moment. But Mark McKeever said that sometimes when they play with the back 3, Forward Madison will leave some space on the wings. And if that's the case, then they want to get the ball out wide and swing some dangerous crosses or cutbacks toward that 6-yard area. Sometimes, though, those center backs might be more spread out. And if that's the case, then he wants them to be able to work the ball right through the middle against those center backs if they're drawn more out wide. So one way or the other, he was hoping they could get at that either back 3 or back 4 tonight. We haven't seen it in the first half of this first half. It's been Madison with the early initiative and the early goal as well now. That came off Aiden Macias last. Goal kick for Knox. Lewis in front of the flock end. Not happy with his kick out there as he handed it right to Forward Madison. Villalobos. Kroll. Villalobos in the center circle. One touch out wide. That's tracked down by Gephardt, the goal scorer. And now the whistle goes against forward Madison. Four shots so far for the Mingos. Just one for One Knox in the opening quarter of this match. Free kick for Madison now. Possession about 65% for the Mingos thus far. Angelo Kelly. Well, no, it wasn't Kelly. It was Calixtro, eventually, who was whistled for that foul. Here come the Mingos again, right through that midfield. And then Boyce on the right, stretching for it, able to keep it in play. And attempting to cut it back. Wasn't able to wrap his foot around it, into the arms of Sean Lewis. More good attacking play by forward Madison. You see how quickly they're able to break lines. How quickly they're able to move the ball. Their coaching staff has spoken repeatedly this year about how much it has helped them that they were able to retain so much of their core from last season. And that's something that you can't take for granted at this level. A lot of times teams will turn over quite a bit from one year to the next at the third division. And it's hard to maintain that cohesiveness and build that chemistry over multiple seasons. But this group has been able to do that. And they're already seeing some of the fruits of it this year. Players much quicker, much more telepathic, that understanding, that chemistry, that knowledge of where each other's going to be and how each other wants the ball to be played. Much greater, much sharper this season. Some early flashes of it again here tonight in these first 25 minutes. Jalen Chrysler off the bench in the 13th minute. You always have to be mentally prepared, of course, when you start the game off the bench to come in at any time, but you don't normally expect to have to do that early, especially as a center back. That's a rare case. And here's Calixtro, though. One Knox in search of an equalizer. Calixtro off Kroll, who blocked it really well. It'll be the first corner of the night for One Knoxville. Stuart Ritchie over to take it. First set piece opportunity for One Knox, which was an area that they were hoping they could make an impact tonight. It's been an area of struggle for forward Madison the last couple of years. They've been better this season. Ritchie pings it in, back post, and rising and heading it over the bar. Well, they had what they wanted at that back stick, but unable to guide it on frame. Decent opportunity for One Knox in that first attacking set piece tonight. Burn Shipman ultimately untroubled. Shipman had a couple of shaky moments several weeks ago, but he's responded with a couple excellent performances, including a man of the match performance in that 3-0 win last week at Spokane. Made some outstanding saves. Chrysler long out of the back. Attempted target play, and it does earn a free kick. He's in Shuti Innocent. And strong back to goal play to hold off his man and earn the set piece. Innocent's a Rwandan international. He's made 13 appearances for the Rwandan national team. With one touch layoff there. Knox starting to generate some attacking presence, at least. Moving that ball into the final third. That's not a great ball, though, from DJ Benton. Cut out pretty simply. But then one back, no. It was a foul by Kalikstro, who immediately shows the ball to the referee and says, I won it fairly. But Amin Hadzik saw otherwise. And let's see as Kalikstro slammed the ball down. Not sure if he's going to be booked for dissent. I think he's going to get a talking to from Hadzik. I think this will be a warning. Let's look at the foul. Extra stepping in. Certainly won the ball. It was tough to tell from that angle how much of the player he got in the process. Now Cheney. So strong on the ball. Not strong enough that time. He thought he was fouled. Sievert Haugley took it off him. Amin Hadzik saw nothing wrong with that. Forward Madison haven't pressed high up the pitch a ton in this opening half hour, but the one time they did, they won it back, and that led to the opening goal. Long ball is a good one, and well taken by Kalikstro. Turning on that touchline, doing well against Jacob Kroll, who sticks with him nonetheless. Now gets some help as well from Derek Gebhardt. And it's off Kroll, and it will be a corner. No, goal kick. Ball apparently was out of play first. It's a really good battle on that right side. Kalikstro and Kroll, and then Gebhardt. As we're a half an hour in Wisconsin's capital. A venue that has gotten better every year, Reese Stevens Field. Forward Madison making additions and improvements to it every season. Looking for a foul there, Aiden Macias. Get up, says the referee. One Knox perhaps with a chance to counter, but Devin Boyce getting back well to harass that and prevent forward progress. Charlie Matchell recovered from his early knock. Those two forwards looking pretty isolated for One Knox so far. Shuti Innocent and Gio Kalikstro. It is a forward three, as you can see in this picture right here, but it's been in Shuti and Kalikstro who've been the furthest forward in most cases. Francis Ross sometimes dropping back a bit. Here go the Mingos now through the midfield, and then Cheney. Cheney looking to get himself turned against a couple defenders, gets it back now. Cheney just had it roll off his foot. He's frustrated with himself. Couldn't quite bring it under command. He had Boyce to his left. Not sure if he wanted to play that for Boyce or whether he was trying to explode past the last defender. Unable to do either in the end. But Christian Cheney still in the middle of everything for Forward Madison. Take a look at our injury report momentarily. That's presented by UW Health Sports Medicine, and it's a fairly clean one for both sides. It's what you want to see. This will be a attacking throw for One Knox. Kalikstro. Kelly. Kelly again. Playing it on the left. This is Stuart Ritchie. wanted on his left foot, I think, and ultimately took too long on it. Tackled away, and Madison can come the other way. Well, get yourself the latest Forward Madison merch online or at the Flamboyance team store at Breese Stevens Field. As another player is down for one Knox, and that's Nshuti Innocent. It's been an injury-plagued opening half-hour plus for the visitors tonight. Jordan Skelton already had to leave the game in the 13th minute. Actually went down in the 9th. Well, Innocent down as well. Charlie Matchell shook off an early knock. He was down for a couple minutes in the opening 10 as well. So it might have happened to Nshuti, and maybe just a boot to the back of the calf, top of the ankle. That would be a painful one. You would hope that it's not serious enough to force him out. Depends on how hard the kick was. Receiver Howley being demonstrative with his teammates there as they're able to regroup by the bench for a moment. 10 minutes to go until halftime, probably a lot more than that because we've had quite a bit of injury stoppages in this first half. So Innocent comes over to the touchline for a moment. We'll see if he's able to continue and come back in after that. Underway in Chattanooga and in South Georgia. Red Wolves in Lexington, Tormenta, and Richmond, both 0-0 in the early minutes, respectively. Derek Gephardt scored the goal in the 19th minute to give Madison the lead. Good tackling, and Jimmy Villalobos comes away with it for the Mingos. Appreciation from the home fans. Here goes Gephardt, but the whistle stops play, and a yellow card is shown. And that's Calixtro. For an earlier foul, it appears, on Nazim Bartman. So Calixtro, the first man in the book. Let's see what happened. Villalobos won it off him, and then Calixtro just left one in on Bartman. And he'd already been warned, remember, a few minutes ago by referee Amin Hadzik. So Calixtro booked in the 37th minute. And getting an earful from the home fans as well, which you expect when you come to Breese Stevens Field. The keeper said this week that the trip to Madison is always a fun one, has a great atmosphere, the players like it. It's a little intimidating at times, but we'd rather have that than nobody at a game. Certainly the opposite of nobody at the game here in Madison. Just about week in and week out, they pack this place. Here's Gephardt. Another good battle on this left side. Gephardt looking to stand it up back post. Nobody really there, and he overhit it a bit. Still kept alive and recycled around the edge. Sosa in with his left foot. Out comes Lewis to claim. It's amazing what the difference an early goal makes, especially when a team like Madison are scoring early goals consistently. It's such a relief, because if they hadn't scored that 19-minute goal through Derek Gephardt, that's given away. Really bad turnover by Bernd Shipman. Nshuti laying it off. Kelly wanted to hit it first time. It's being closed down. Looks to pull it back. Nshuti again. Onto his right. Nshuti shoots toward the corner. Good save by Shipman and did well to hold it. And that's the first real chance for Knoxville tonight. It came from that giveaway by Shipman. Gave it straight to Calixto. They weren't able to fashion a clear-cut chance from it. Kelly did well to keep it alive, and Nshuti did well to pull it out of his feet there. I think that was on goal as well. Shipman had that post covered. But for Madison, if they hadn't scored that goal in the 19th minute, you'd be looking at this game saying, well, they've played very well, done some good stuff. It hasn't told on the scoreboard yet, and that was the case for them way too often the last couple seasons. That early goal changes everything. Still plenty of time for Knoxville to work themselves right back into it, though. Forward from Benton, Kelly, Johnson. This is better from Knoxville. Starting to get into their stride more. Stuart Ritchie now. Long cross in from the left, but that's easy for Bernd Shipman. 40 minutes played, 1-0 Madison. Derek Gephardt's tally in the 19th. Well, are you missing out on the FMFC experience? Get out to Breese Stevens Field for the next home match with 20% off tickets until the end of the month. It's the end of the match, excuse me, as here goes one knocks down that left side. Into the box and well read and cut out before it could reach Nshuti Innocent. Four minutes of the 45 left. We'll see how much is added beyond that. My ballpark guess would be 7. We'll see if I'm right. Jalen Chrysler. It's always difficult away from home, of course, especially in an atmosphere like this, and also when you absorb early injuries the way one Knox have. Another good tackle by Devin Benton. And for one Knox, that they can get themselves to halftime at just a goal down. They'll feel okay about things overall. Not thrilled, of course, but under the circumstances, they'll settle for being in this game going into the second 45. What a wonderful turn from Gio Calixto. That was so good. That'll go on his personal highlight reel. Then it was miskicked in the center of the park. Given back to forward Madison, and a chance for Sosa to make a surging run. It's being tugged back. Referee chose not to take action there. Sprayed to the left side. A bit heavy, but it's tracked down and then, well, apparently kept in play. And what a great chop by Gephardt along the end line, and then his touch was too heavy. And it was smothered by Lewis. I thought that ball had gone out of play, but apparently not on the end line. Really acrobatic from Gephardt to apparently keep it in play. And then a good bit of skill to step past the defender. Then his touch let him down just as he was in. A chance to pull something dangerously across the face of goal. Be disappointed with himself having done all that good work to get in such a good position. wasn't able to make something from it. This ball picked up by Knoxville, but again, their next ball not good enough. It's a deft touch from Boyce. Madison still with plenty of time to find a second goal before the end of this first half. Half in which they have largely been well on top. There's been an early goal in Chattanooga, and it goes to the Red Wolves against Lexington. So it's Chattanooga 1, Lexington 0, about 10 minutes in. CHI Health in Chattanooga. Scored by Mael Molongo. Several games in progress in the USL Championship tonight as this goes out of play for a one-Knox throw. Rhode Island and Louisville City have gone final, actually. They finished goalless in Rhode Island tonight. Miami FC and North Carolina FC, no score late in the first half. 1-1 between Indy 11 and Phoenix Rising in the 42nd minute. Tampa Bay Rowdies and Las Vegas Lights underway in the 12th minute. They are goalless. Well, I was right. We're going to have 7 additional minutes at the end of this first half. I don't get to be right often, so I have to savor it when it happens. So we'll play an additional 7 after these next 25 seconds. One Knox in search of that leveling goal. Calixtro around the corner. Francis Ross by the end line. Nobody crashing that back post. Now Ritchie arrives and takes it under his possession. Kelly did well to roll past one defender. Matchell. TJ Benton into the middle. Good ball. And it just ran past both Inshuti and Angelo Kelly and out for a goal kick. The better attacks that one Knox have had in this first half. Coming up on Wednesday, May 29th, Monterey Bay FC takes on Eastern Conference leader Charleston Battery in a clash of USL Championship clubs at 10 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. USL continuing to have great matchups. CBS networks and on ESPN2. There's many, many matches on ESPN Plus as we are tonight. This is one touch down the middle, Cheney racing after it, but Sievert Haugley was there in front of him and stabbed it out for a throw. You don't see forward Madison go direct like that often, but they do have that potential with Christian Cheney, with his power and his pace up front. Almost caused a big issue for Knoxville there. Sosa. Aiden Macias. Nazim Bartman. Sosa, Bartman, and Osmond. Madison okay with managing the game for now. Patiently working the ball, losing his footing was Gephardt, looking for a foul, but none coming. Loose ball. Madison might pick that up. They do. It is Gephardt. And then Gephardt twisted around and is fouled this time. And a free kick in first half stoppage time. Coming up for the Mingos. Charlie Matchell commits the foul. Gephardt was able to put his body in front of the ball, and Matchell clipped his heels. So a set piece to defend for one Knox. You see Sean Lewis having to shield his eyes from the setting sun. There's a reason Madison chose to attack this way in the first half, knowing they have the advantage of that setting sun right now. It will be Devin Boyce swinging it back post over the head of Christian Cheney. Clearly see who he was aiming for, but put it just a bit too high. So has really good quality with that right foot. I mentioned he scored that curling goal last week. Trying to curl one to a teammate's head that time. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. See those shadows starting to spread from the near side, but still bright evening sunshine splashed across most of the pitch. It's been a bright half from the home side. Cheney, more good strength with his back to goal and wins another free kick. Gets a round of applause from his teammate. Angelo Kelly with the foul that time. Possession is evened up as this first half has gone on. It's right at 50-50 right now. Forward Madison still generally looking the more dangerous with it. The One Knox have grown into the game a bit in the last 15 minutes or so. Clipped into the box. Kroll wins the first header. Across the face of goal. Couple deflections. It rolls through to Lewis. And he's able to smother it there. And Kelly has gone down for One Knox. Another player down for the visiting team. They've had a rough first half physically. Kelly had some head contact here, appeared to be grabbing his nose. Tough to see there. Not sure if the ball or the opposing player's head hit his face, maybe both. We're likely going to play beyond the additional 7 minutes in this first half. Very stop and start pace because of all these injury stoppages. Not the fault of any of the players involved, of course. The game has had a hard time maintaining any rhythm because of those. Surprisingly, only one corner in this first half. It was One Knox who created a decent chance from it. Attacking free kicks for forward Madison late in this half. Not a ton of clear-cut chances either way. Forward Madison have had one and they've taken it. That's headed deftly back to his own goalkeeper by Mitch Osmond. That was nicely done. Should never be surprised, I guess, when a professional player looks like a professional, but it's always worth applauding nonetheless. It was very coolly done by Mitch Osmond. Well, we've had the 7 minutes. Let's see how much further we go. It's at the discretion, of course, of Amin Hadzik, our center referee. Well, that was shifty from Nazim Bartman looking for a free kick. He gets one now. Didn't hear the whistle initially from Amin Hadzik, but he did blow it. And it will be a late set piece again for Madison. This one could be especially tricky to defend for One Knox because you could see a moment ago, it's just going to go from the shadows into the sunshine. It can be difficult visually to judge. This is a problem that baseball players face all the time in the early evening against a tough pitcher. Boyce curls it in toward the 6-yard box. Not his best delivery that time. And then a poor touch after that goes straight into the crowd. Pressure relieved for Knoxville. anytime that ball goes from the shadows into the sunshine, again, it's a bigger issue for hitters trying to hit a baseball, but be an issue for defenders and goalkeepers trying to defend a ball into their penalty area. Didn't turn out to be a major problem for Knoxville there. That was an interesting touch from Cheney, trying to backheel it toward Devin Boyce. Didn't quite work out. Entertaining try. Played about 8.5 minutes of stoppage time. Kelly with a good touch, but a bit too heavy in the end. And there is the halftime whistle from Amin Hadzik to bring our opening stage to a close here tonight. Round 3 of the USL Jägermeister Cup. Both these sides could really use a win tonight to stay in contention early on in Group 2. And it's Forward Madison with that 19th minute goal from Derek Gebhardt. That has them on top through 45 today. It's Forward Madison 1 Knoxville SC 0. As halftime here at Breese Stevens Field begins right after this.
Preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Your Unity Point Health Youth Soccer Spotlight this evening. Spotlights the Rush 09 Boys in Blue. They're tonight's Unity Point Health Meritor Youth Soccer Spotlight of the night. Thank you, Madison area youth soccer clubs, for your continued support. Halftime here at Breese Stevens Field, 1-0 in favor of the Mingos as they lead 1 Knoxville. Well, last week or a couple weeks ago, round 2 of the Jägermeister Cup, and we saw lots of great goals between these sides.
For Forward Madison, this time it's Christian Cheney. Obregon buries a beautiful free kick. His second in Jägermeister Cup play. It down, plays it off. Gebhardt, and it's 2-1. Disallowed on one end for Charlotte, and Gebhardt retakes the lead for Forward Madison.
Your Hailstorm player lets it fly, turned away, and the tap-in is through. Chelo Martinez, Hernandez, his cross finds Rendon, he scores, it's 2-0, Northern Colorado. One goal already, Rendon, make it 2. Castro rolls it central, it's tapped in. Headed back, dangerously so. Horde settles, Horde scores! A fourth slices through traffic. Yamazaki strike. Oh, Yamazaki!
McKinnon goes to his right. Lion McKinnon shoots, and oh my goodness! It's nearly deja vu for Lion McKinnon against Tormenta. A screaming effort for Tormenta. Nice weighted ball, Curry! And he blasts it home. Tormenta take the advantage. Jamie Smith, he scores.
Probably shouldn't have. Fort Parker's going to regret that one.
Jamie Smith from downtown.
My, oh my. I almost laughed at the audacity of the attempt by Jamie Smith. But
75 goals in his career with Lou City in USL Championship. Looking for one here. Oh, it's a beautiful strike. And it's in for Lancaster. Hit the home side, can't hurry. Diouf fires the shot and curls it in. Kept nicely, wind and fire, and it's in. Alfredo Madison, welcome aboard. To keep. It's loose in the box, and an area shot is in. My goodness. Central Valley has tied. Corrales approaches, stutters, and scores. The hesitation drew the key. Flip ball, the cross, and this one goes up and off the crossbar. Great look denied by the crossbar. Bill Hart from distance, no. Good ball in. A chance for Marsh. Chance for Lukic, and it falls through for the opening goal in the 85th minute. A moment of chaos results in a goal for the Red Wolves.
Rodriguez, he's 1v1. Rodriguez! Masayo Rodriguez! 4 goals in 3 games! Before he gets stripped away, a shot goes and we're even! Andre Lewis! 5 minutes after Rodriguez, it's Lewis with his second in 2024, and we are tied at 1. Dolabella and Merancio scores! Dolabella, 2-1 Omaha off of the penalty. Possession of velocity, Heel off of his heels. Heel scores! Birthday sends this one in. Metaner, inward, Heel scores! He gets on the board on the 90 plus. And Spokane have taken the lead and put the pressure on Omaha.
Go get it, Doug.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Traeger up over the top. Tristan Traeger. It's in.
Opportunity here. The hits and a goal.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes when we walk up past. Running every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, So do we. Terminix it.
Vibrant Breeze Stevens Field, 1-0. The home side leading 1 Knox. Forward Madison FC with that goal in the 19th minute tonight to put them ahead at the break. Let's look at news and notes from around USL League One and the Jägermeister Cup over the last couple of weeks. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, Sacramento Republic, New Mexico United, and Indy 11 all advancing to the next round of that competition, July 9th and the 10th. They are all into the quarterfinals, so the USL well represented in those final 8. West Coast expansion, AV Alta FC to join USL League One for the 2025 season. They unveiled their branding and crest last week. They'll play at renovated Lancaster Municipal Stadium in Lancaster, California. The Jägermeister Cup leaderboard, Northern Colorado's Bruno Rendon and Omaha's Misael Rodriguez on top with 3 goals each so far. Other scores from around round 3 of the Jägermeister Cup, Chattanooga Red Wolves still leading 1-0 on that 8th minute goal by Mael Molongo. Richmond have taken the lead at Tormenta. Kickers really in need of a win. It's 1-0 to them about a half an hour in. Later tonight, Northern Colorado home to Charlotte, trying to build on that 5-1 win over 1 Knox in the last round a couple weeks ago. Also, Spokane Velocity home to Greenville Triumph. That's a tasty matchup. And on Wednesday, Union Omaha traveling west. Union Omaha will stay home to face West Coast side Central Valley Fuego in Omaha. The next round, round 4, on Saturday, June 8th, 1 Knox will be home to Lexington in that rivalry matchup. Richmond and Charlotte will play each other at 7 Eastern on Saturday, June 8th. Chattanooga and Forward Madison, that's an interesting one out in East Tennessee. Northern Colorado and Central Valley Fuego, 2 sides based out west, will play at Elevation at NOCO. Tormento home to Greenville, and Union Omaha will round out that round home to Spokane. In just a moment, we'll take a look at our first half highlights and stats from tonight, get you set for the second half in Madison. 1-0 to the Mingos.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
This isn't just your normal bike. It folds, it unfolds, and it just goes. Need to climb that hill? No problem. And if you're looking for speed, well, you've come to the right place. 28 miles per hour, up to 65 miles of range. And equipped with hydraulic brakes, this is the Electric XP 3.0. Fully foldable, fully assembled, ships free. Simple as that. Go to electricebikes.com and come ride with us.
Hey, excuse me.
Hi.
You know where the post office is?
Sure, follow me.
Okay.
It's just a few miles.
We're a different kind.
Here it is, cornstarch.
Whatever you're looking for, we'll take you right to it. Festival Foods, happy to help.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Tonight's Dental Health Associates fan of the game, that is, Jacob Jaminet. Thank you for going full Mingo. Let's look at highlights and stats from the first half. As forward Madison and one Knox. It was forward Madison taking the lead in the 19th minute as they won the ball in that attacking third, and Derek Gephardt ended up doing the rest. His first shot was blocked, came right back to him though. Didn't need a second invitation, smashed it first time past Sean Lewis. What a great finish. Lewis, again, who has great reflexes, but couldn't stop it from point blank range. And so Gephardt with the goal. And they were on top for most of the first half, but a bad giveaway by Bernd Shipman almost handed one Knox a route back into the game, but good team defending. Eventually was Nshuti Innocent getting it out of his feet, striking it pretty well, but Shipman had that far post covered and then apologized to his teammates. That was the closest one Knox came in the opening 45. 5 shots for forward Madison, 2 of them on target, 3 and 1 for one Knox. Possession just about even. The one yellow card that was shown to Gio Calixtro. Everybody else was clean in the first half. Just the one corner as well, which belonged to Knoxville. Halftime stats presented by Rhyme as we get set for the second half. Here in Madison, it will be one Knox to get us back underway. They're in the navy blue and the orange, kicking from right to left in this second half. Madison in the white with the pink and blue stripes. They'll be from left to right. Center referee Amin Hadzik gets us back underway. One Knox looking for a second half comeback. Madison looking to salt away 3 points here in round 3 of the Jägermeister Cup group stage. Match presented to you by Dairyland Insurance. Good initial touch. One Knox have it high up the pitch with Kelly. And now the whistle goes for a free kick. Forward Madison upset at that, and the card is going to be shown as well to Timmy Mayle. One of those center backs for forward Madison. He disagrees with the decision, but just 30 seconds into the second half, the Mingos have their first caution of the night. Well, let's look at it again. Mayle thought he was fouled. He pulled that back for that contact eventually. So Madison setting up a 4-man wall, it looks like, at the direction of Bernd Shipman. Setting up with the left foot for one Knox. And it's struck on goal, but there's Shipman. Positioned well. And able to make the save and hang on. Just the second save of the night for Shipman. Positive start to the second half, though, for Knoxville. Madison playing out from the back. What a good touch from Cheney. On to Gephardt, who tries to return it to Cheney. Christian Cheney's in. Cheney round the keeper. Christian Cheney, it was just touched wide. How did Sean Lewis get a tip to that? Sean Lewis with his fingertip was able to punch it around the post. Christian Cheney thought he had rounded the keeper, thought he was going to slide it in for goal number 2. It's just out for a corner instead. Great interplay between Gephardt and Cheney was in. And right here, it looks like he's rounded him. Somehow Lewis able to stretch out and get his hand to it and deny Christian Cheney. Subsequent corner, lofted back post. And whistle goes for a foul against Madison and some pushing and shoving afterward. Card is out. I believe that's Osmond who's gone into the book. And so both center backs booked in the opening minutes of this second half for Madison. I think Osmond is insisting that he was the one being held in the box, not the other way around. There's Osmond. Well, he does grab the jersey, doesn't he? And then, well, the full twist and pull down. I'm not quite sure what the complaint was about when you see that replay. Sometimes other angles reveal more that you can't see from the initial one, but certainly see what the center referee saw when he made that decision. Free kick here for Madison. 4 minutes into the second half. It's been an eventful first 4 minutes of the second half. One Knox had an early shot on goal from a free kick. Madison nearly had the second goal for an incredible stretch by Sean Lewis. That moment from Lewis, by the way, doesn't go down as an official save, which is an example of how sometimes goalkeepers get shortchanged, at least in the raw statistics. There are much better advanced metrics to evaluate goalkeepers by these days. So that will be noticed one way or the other, but still, that doesn't go down as a save for Lewis, but it deserves to. Madison back to the attack, though, and it stood up toward the back post. That should be simple for Lewis, and is. Lewis being pressured, more of a high press from forward Madison early in this second half. Example of how well they can work it, and they're down that left side. Gebhardt just had it tackled out. Knoxville were claiming it had gone off Gebhardt last, but it is a Madison throw. Just over 5 minutes now into half number 2. Madison now. Cheney with a strike. That came off a defender. Second ball. Cheney again. And it's over the bar. One Knox have made 2 changes at the half. We're just getting word of that now. And Shooty Innocent came off. Kempis Tequila has come on. Also, DJ Benton off in favor of Sean O'Hearn. So a double change at half from Mark McKeever. Kempis Tequila, mentioned him in the first half, not starting today. We were a bit surprised at that, but rested for the first half, it appears. But he scored in his last 3 matches for One Knox. We'll see what he's able to add to that attack in the second half. This is looped into the box. Nobody up in blue and orange for it. The expected goal statistic, of course, can be overrated at times. It can be relied on too much, but it is interesting to look at it in the first half. One Knox had an expected goals of just 0.1 in the opening 45 minutes. So it does show you how little they were able to generate in the attack in that opening half, and perhaps why Mark McKeever made a couple of attacking changes at the start of this second half. Forward Madison weren't overwhelming in that statistic either, by the way. They were at about 0.5. They cashed in on that 19th minute goal from Derek Gebhardt. That's why they lead by a goal to none in the 53rd now. Clipped into the box. Up for it was Boyce. He was beaten to it. It's going to roll out by that corner flag. It will be a throw. Get a glimpse at another great crowd here in Madison tonight. Touch back to Sosa, who's immediately offside. It's a free kick for One Knoxville. Still in the early stages of half number 2. sun setting in Wisconsin's capital. So a lot of the middle of the park now in the shadow. Christian Cheney in the sunshine was trying to touch it around a defender. So we remind you to get yourself the latest Forward Madison merch online or at the Flamboyance team store at Breese Stevens Field. It's almost a bad throw that nearly gave the ball straight to Nazim Bartman. Stuart Ritchie, haven't seen him get forward on that left side nearly as much as I think One Knox would like him to. I don't think that's really his fault in the first half. One Knox just didn't have many opportunities to get themselves forward. That was given away. But Ritchie's back onto it now. He was halted by Sosa, but at the expense of a foul and a yellow card. So 3 cards shown to Madison defenders in the first 9 minutes of the second half now. First it was Mail, then it was Osmond, now it's Sosa. All booked in these early stages of half number 2. There has to be a slight concern for Matt Glazer. Knox still have Gio Calixtro on the yellow card that he picked up at about the 30-minute mark. Rakes down that right side. This is going to stay in play. Turns out to be a really good ball. Calixtro onto it. Up against Jacob Kroll. Calixtro stood up into the box. Nobody on the end of it for One Knox, but it's put out and it will be a corner for the visitors. Their second of the night, just the second of the night overall. Take that back, it's the 3rd overall. Madison did have one early in this second half. And it will be Stuart Ritchie jogging over to take this. Remember the one corner that One Knox had in the first half, Ritchie played it to the back post. I think it was Sievert Haugley who was rising for it and headed it over the bar. It was a decent chance. Where does Ritchie put this one? Curls it to the top of the 6, bounces all the way through, again to that back post area. Again, Forward Madison not terribly convincing in their clearance of it, but they get it away eventually. We've had some more goals in Chattanooga, by the way. It's now 2-1 Red Wolves over Lexington. Tormenta and Richmond now 1-1 late in the first half. A competition that is designed to encourage goal scoring. Certainly did in round 2. We saw the highlights of round 2 at halftime. Here goes Angelo Kelly. And Kelly continues. He's around the corner here. Now caught up to by Timmy Mail. He exchanges, though. Francis Ross keeps it in play. Trying to return it to Kelly. Now the heavy touch. Kelly with the tackle on Sosa. Referee allows play to continue. It would have been a foul on Kelly. Advantage played, though. Cheney gave it away. And it rolls to Ross. Ross now chops into the box. Ross on his left and put it straight at the goalkeeper. Not sure if that was intended to be a shot. If Ross was trying to wrap his foot around it for more of a pullback, but pretty simple for Burn Shipman. Interesting stage in this game. Madison have had the better of it. They deservedly lead, but Knox, as we've seen in a couple moments lately, just a moment away from maybe equalizing. They have to defend this moment, and they do so very well. Aiden Macias was marauding for it. In the end, it was Sean O'Hearn, who was on at halftime, remember. He got back and was able to win that one-on-one duel. Remember, if one Knox were to equalize, if this game were level after 90 minutes, we would go to a penalty shootout to determine a second point tonight. That's how it works in the Jägermeister Cup. That's why winning in the 90 minutes, very valuable. Madison are about to make a double change at the next stoppage, by the way. They're getting Wolfgang Prentice and Stephen Payne ready to come in with about a half an hour to play. Ball goes forward and is tracked down by Sean Lewis. Ritchie. He wanted more teammates to show short for that ball. Hopeful ball down the right side, and Kroll will allow it to run out of play. Let's see if Madison make those changes now. They will. There you see Prentice and Payne ready to come in. Gebhardt, the goal scorer, one of those replaced. Really good game for Derek Gebhardt. And Ferretti Sosa, the other who comes off. Stephen Payne takes his spot on that right side of defense. And like Sosa, maybe even more so than Sosa, Stephen Payne loves to get forward on that right flank. He'll overlap, he'll underlap, be really aggressive in that regard. It's interesting because the way Payne does that, sometimes it can open things up on the counterattack. If he gets caught high up the pitch, if Madison lose possession while he's making one of those long bombing runs forward, it can create space on that flank, and that's something that Mark McKeever spoke about this week when we talked to him. He felt that at times, maybe they might be able to have some space on those attacking flanks and be able to serve some dangerous crosses into the Madison area. We haven't seen them be able to do that much over the opening hour. Maybe some chances like that might present themselves now over the final half an hour. It's Knoxville making another change of their own as Rodolfo Castro comes on for Francis Ross. Tough night for Ross. Didn't have much to latch on to as part of that attacking trio. Devin Boyce. Boyce again now. He's looked bright again tonight. This is more good play from Madison. Comes back to Villalobos. Jacob Kroll. Timmy Mayle. Boyce. Making more progress. Azim Bartman laid it off well. Kroll again. Now on the left for Wolfgang Prentice. Prentice just on a few minutes ago. Looks to stand up across toward Cheney. Might come back to Prentice along the end line. Calixto back to defend instead. Hammers it up the pitch. And Madison can reset by that center stripe. Angelo Kelly with the Madison player there off the ball who went tumbling. And we play on. Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Knox still trying to get that attack firing tonight. Got a couple brief glimpses and moments, but not a lot. Here's Kelly. Calixtro has Tequila to aim for in the box. Does aim for him, but put it too close to the keeper instead. These other two games in progress have both gone to halftime. Chattanooga 2-1 up over Lexington. Tormenta and Richmond 1-1 in South Georgia. Here it's still Derek Gephardt's goal in the 19th minute. It sees Madison leading one Knox 1-0. Christian Cheney's been a handful throughout. Within inches of scoring a second goal early in this second half. And Sean Lewis at full stretch, able to tip it off his feet. Dueling number 22s now with Stephen Payne onto the pitch. The flag was raised against Knoxville's number 22, Stuart Ritchie, who was making that forward run. Don't see too many left backs get flagged for offside. And Stuart Ritchie does love to get forward and eager to do so more over the rest of this match, I'm sure. A bit of pressure applied by one Knox, and that pays off as they win a throw toward this attacking third. Ritchie has it touched back to him. Johnson stood up for Ritchie, stays in play for him by that end line. Back for Kelly. Angelo Kelly, can he create some magic? Now Calixtro, surging to the end line. Calixtro stands it up, and it's headed wide. Best chance of the match for one Knox. Callum Johnson rose for it. It went past Tequila. Johnson toward the back post. Couldn't steer it on target. Likely would have tied the game if he had. First it was Matchell, then it was Rodolfo Castro, and then Calixtro did so well here. The little drop toward the end line. What a good cross this is. And Johnson arriving late. I'm not sure if that ball just skimming over Tequila's head maybe caused Johnson to double clutch slightly. But that's one he'll feel he should have done better on from 6 yards out. Pretty central by the time he made contact with it. Trying to flick it toward that far post and just missed. Free kick now for Madison. Timmy Mail. Ball forward. Here's Stephen Payne making one of those forward runs. Cuts it back for Cheney. Cheney lays it off. And his teammate couldn't bring it under control. Madison trying to win it back, but they commit the foul. Boyce clipping the heels of Kelly. Free kick for one Knox. You saw a glimpse there of the kind of runs that Stephen Payne likes to make down that right side. That's why he's fun to watch. Here goes Kelly now. His forward ball blocked out by Mail. Approaching the final quarter of the match. Possession for one Knox now. Jeremy Chrysler, Callum Johnson, O'Hearn. Kiefer talked about that this week. There's going to be spells where forward Madison have most of the possession, and there's going to be other times where One Knox have it more. And can they make the most of those moments? Not here, as Tequila tried to play in Rodolfo Castro, but it's won back by Knoxville. And the left-footed shot off a defender. It's Callum Johnson striking from distance. Knoxville trying to put the press on. Payne, his ball out. Took a double deflection, looked like. And it is a Madison throw. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. One Knoxville still searching for that tying goal. Calixtro. More attacking moments in this second half. Again with a good run to the end line. Another cross in, and it looked like Tequila was poised, but it was just flicked away from him just before it reached his head. Well, Tequila had visions of a fourth goal in his last 4 games. Still might get one before the end of the night, but not there. Now here goes Johnson. Callum Johnson! Just over the bar. He struck it really well, but couldn't quite keep it down. Shipman was at full stretch. Didn't need to touch it as it turned out. Opened up for Johnson and took the strike on. Don't think Shipman got a touch. Referee saw it the same. Stephen Payne does well. He brings Boyce into the play. Returns it to Payne, who took a heavy touch. So the game's starting to really open up now with One Knox taking more chances. Now Boyce and Kelly in a tussle. The Knoxville players wanted a piece of Devin Boyce, who smartly walked away. Charlie Matchell is irate. Just a brilliant initial touch from Boyce. Just harassed Angelo Kelly. And said, "What did I do?" Very McNulty from the wire. What did I do? Still just the 1 goal in the game. Sean O'Hearn clipping it toward Tequila. Somehow got a first touch to it, but Shipman out by the edge of his area to take it in. Still not sure how Kempis Tequila was able to stretch out and volley that ball out of the air, even though it didn't amount to anything in the end. Steered header toward Calixtro, who's being closely watched on that right side now, but he wins a free kick. Set piece coming for Knoxville, just inside that far touch line. One Knox have been able to feed Calixtro on that right side a lot more in this second half. He's been creating things. Now given against Wolfgang Prentice. Can Knoxville deliver something dangerous into the box? You know Kempis Tequila will be there looking for it. In with the left, Shipman out. Not sure he got there. I think he got part of his hand to it. He had Tequila standing in front of him. If Shipman did get something to that, it was really well done. And the throw goes Madison's way. It's tough to tell whether that came off Shipman or Tequila from the direction it traveled after the impact. You would think it was the goalkeeper who got something on it. But when he started to jump and when Tequila jumped as well, it did not look like Shipman was going to get to that ball. He appeared to be in trouble for a split second. Cheney, another good takedown in traffic, plays in pain on the overlap. Into the middle, man went tumbling for Madison. That's Bartman who stays down holding his face. Play continues. Long ball raked forward by Castro. Overly ambitious in the direction of Calixto. Now the attention shifts back to Bartman. Holding the side of his face. Upset that the linesman didn't give anything. Maybe a stray arm from Charlie Matchell. Tough to tell definitively from that angle. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. This third round of the Jägermeister Cup group stage. At the moment, Forward Madison on course for their second win in 3 group games. They would go to 6 points in Group 2 if this result holds. As they make a change, they're going to send John Murphy into the game as he replaces Aiden Macias. Both teams have changed 3 players so far. We're into the final 15 at Bree Stevens Field. Still Derek Gephardt's goal in the 19th. That's what has Forward Madison on top. Callum Johnson came close to an equalizer about 5 minutes ago with that laser shot from just outside the area. Good work there by Castro to keep possession. Now Calixto. Trying to thread it through those pink and blue shirts. Couldn't quite do so. This will be tracked down by Haugley. Madison's starting to drop deeper as this second half wears on. Can be dangerous, but they are still very dangerous themselves on the counter, of course. O'Hearn. Matchell. O'Hearn pings it out to Calixto. Another neat takedown by him off the chest this time. Calixto being shadowed by Wolfgang Prentice, who is determined not to allow him to surge toward that end line again. Into the box it goes. Tequila back to goal, trying to touch it down. Kelly after it. It wouldn't fall for anybody in blue and orange, and now the whistle goes for a foul. More frustration for Knoxville. It's been that kind of night for them so far. Those glimpses, those moments of danger are there for Knoxville more and more in this second half, especially from Calixto and Tequila. They just about connected again moments ago. Tequila was able to chest it down, sort of, but this back to goal never was able to work a clear chance from it. This is headed down to Boyce. Touched it to Payne. Intercepted by Ritchie. Chaotic sequence results in a free kick for Madison. And that clock will continue to melt. Tequila trying to track back and help out his teammates, gave away that free kick. Tequila played a few seasons in Luxembourg. He's in Borussia Dortmund's youth system for a number of years. Is Payne down that right side, able to slam it off a defender. He wins a corner for Madison. This will be just their second of the night. By the way, Bernd Shipman has been shown a yellow card for time wasting behind the ball. So Shipman becomes the fourth player booked for Madison. But they have a corner at the other end of the pitch, and Boyce to take. Seemingly from the middle of this great crowd in Madison. It'll be the outswinger. Low to the near post. Aimed toward the head of Nazim Bartman. He appeared to miss the flick on mostly. Did well to track back and win it back ultimately for Mayo. That allows Madison to retain possession and retain control and continue to work this clock down. Cheney wins the flick on. Boyce chases back. Howley heads it back to Lewis, who's outside his area, but not under any pressure. Can one Knox find a late leveler and force penalty kicks tonight? And this is where winning these group stage games in the Jägermeister Cup in the 90 minutes is so valuable, because if you do that, you take all 3 points, and just as importantly, your opponent obviously gets none. So it's a 3-point swing, whereas if you win a game on penalty kicks in this competition, it's still obviously much better than losing it. That means you take 2 points, your opponent takes 1, so you're only +1 for the night over your opposition instead of +3. This is touched on well. It's Kelly who's trying to thread in a teammate. Instead, it's Castro and Calixtro. Calixtro's service into the middle, and it's over the bar. Another great chance. Again, it was Callum Johnson. He's had 2 headers from 6 yards out tonight. One was wide left. This one was over the bar, and it stays 1-0 Madison. Again, Calixtro at the heart of this danger. Castro did well to play to Calixtro on the right. Another gorgeous clipped ball in, and Callum Johnson just unable to get over the top of it. He's done well to get himself in dangerous spots, just hasn't been able to finish. Cheney was nearly in there. Ritchie tussling with Boyce, and Ritchie gives away the foul. One Knoxville are getting ready to send James Thomas onto the pitch. As here come Madison down this left side. Chance to put something into the area, and across the face of goal it rolled. I think it took a deflection on its way. Sean Lewis able to take. Christian Cheney stretching out, couldn't reach it. The run forward from John Murphy. Madison nearly had a chance to put the game away. Kelly, good hold-up play. O'Hearn. And the flag is up for offside. You saw every hand go up for Madison. Kempis Tequila was behind the last defender when the ball was played to him, said the assistant referee. Here comes that change, as Thomas has to wait until Charlie Matchell is all the way at the touchline before he can sprint on. Thomas, who played for Mark McKeever at Young Harris College, also played for him at Des Moines in League Two a couple years ago. On for the final 7 minutes plus stoppage time. We had a bunch of stoppage time in the first half with all the injuries that we saw. It's been a much smoother and more free-flowing second half, so you would think there wouldn't be nearly as much. Still time for Knoxville to grab a tying goal. Kinds of holding between Cheney and his opponent there. Free kick goes Knoxville's way. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Cheney has been shown a yellow card off the ball, apparently. So yellow card starting to rack up for Madison tonight. 4 players on the pitch who are on cautions right now. Here's Kelly. And that goes out of play. And it's a Madison throw. Juan Galindrez is coming in for forward Madison. Christian Cheney is the man subbed off for forward Madison. You see him making his way slowly to the touchline. And Galindrez, who's scored goals in the championship for RGVFC last year, scored a bunch of goals with Chattanooga prior to that in League One. Another example of the kind of depth that forward Madison have this year, being able to bring somebody of Galindrez' quality off the bench for the final 5 minutes with a 1-0 lead. Referee's whistle blows again for a handball. It's going to be a free kick for Knoxville. 5 minutes of the 90 remaining. Getting late. Picture perfect evening in Madison. Thomas asking Mark McKeever for what kind of delivery he should put in here. Thomas, flat ball and easily cut out at the top of the 18-yard box. That did not work out for one Knox. Created a lot more in this second half. Need to create at least one more moment. Here's Castro. Good run forward by him. Now Kelly. Kelly wins that header. Interesting for Knoxville. Looks like Calixtro has come centrally now. That ball did go out of play. It's a Madison throw. Interesting when Calixtro had been creating so much danger down that right side in the second half. Now he's been moved into more of a central position. Forward Madison inching toward the finish line. Still leading thanks to Derek Gephardt's goal in the 19th minute. They give away a free kick here. Nazim Bartman didn't think so. Taken quickly by Castro. O'Hearn. Ritchie. Kelly. Johnson. Good turn. Callum Johnson's played well in this second half. Could have had a couple goals on another night. Here's Castro by the end line. It appeared to go off the Madison foot last. It did. It's a corner. Late set piece for one Knox. They've created some danger from these tonight. Forward Madison have been much improved on defending set pieces this year. It had been a big problem for them the last 2 seasons. They're not the biggest team, as Matt Glazer acknowledged this week. So they have to win their individual battles and duels, and as he said, it's a mindset thing. Especially in the final minutes of a tiring match, that mindset becomes even more important. It's Ritchie with the delivery. Popped up high in the air, over everyone. Kelly serves it back in. Able to find a Knoxville head. Recycled back out though, and poor ball out to the left, and boy, that's a disappointing sequence for Knoxville all the way around. Complete waste. 2 minutes to go. Madison managing this game very well in these late minutes. Not quite there yet. Winning these throws and free kicks and continuing to work this clock down. For a moment, it looked like it might have been given away, but there was a foul against Castro. Into the final minute of the 90. That's taken long toward Stephen Payne, who's able to keep it in play. Takes it to the corner. Payne up against two defenders. And it is a throw for Knoxville, but all the way at that corner flag. They need to take it the length of the pitch. Madison aren't going to make that easy for them. Ball into the middle, turned over. Here's Villalobos. John Murphy takes the smart and safe option, which was Jacob Kroll. Looking for a free kick, and they get one, and Knoxville furious and frustrated. Being told there will be an additional 5 minutes played here at the end of the second half. Begin that stoppage time right now, which is presented by Just Coffee Cooperative. Madison would love to do exactly this for the next 5 minutes. Make the end of this game as drama-free as possible. Payne. Shipman. Long down the middle. Kelly somehow wins that header. He was sandwiched between two Mingos. Forward Madison again win it back. Right down the middle. Payne was making a run. I think he might have been offside. Knoxville do get it back now with about 4 minutes remaining. And that's a foul on Boyce, who claims he got the ball. Dean Honzik awards the free kick to Knoxville. After Knoxville had a pretty bright, say minutes 55 to 75 approximately. Their attack has petered out over the last 15 or so. Still could make something late. They haven't shown a lot of signs of doing that lately. Haugley. Advancing a long way for a center back. This side needs him to do that now. Now Tequila. He's hardly been in the game over the last 10 minutes or so. Madison able to pass it around and work their way out. That's a brave back heel. And then it's given away to Calixtro, who reverses it. Castro, flag stays down. Castro still lays it off. Kempis Tequila wide. And Kelly was screaming for it in the middle, and that might be the last chance for Knoxville tonight. Well, there were some brave touches, and that was just a flat-out bad one to hand it straight to Calixtro. Castro got it stuck under his foot for just a moment, then laid it off to Tequila. The angle was acute. You see Kelly was screaming for him to square it instead. Can Knoxville create another chance? Tequila chests that down. Tries to thread it through for Calixto. Beaten to it by Mitch Osmond. 2 minutes to go. Haugley. Madison can smell a win now. Not there just yet. O'Hearn. Those white shirts back defending. Clipped into the box. Flying header away from Timmy Mayle. It bounces toward a teammate who can lift it on further. Just the one player up attacking. That was Galindrez for Madison. Fans at Bree Stevens ready to celebrate a win. They need their side to defend for another minute and 10 seconds or so. Kelly. We're into the final minute of those 5 added on. Everything has to be perfect now for one Knox, but they're to get something from this game. Toward the right side. The header was won, but it's going to roll harmlessly across the end line. This will be a goal kick, and forward Madison are just about there. Vern Shipman will take as much time as he's allowed. He is on a yellow already, remember, for time wasting, which he picked up about 20 minutes ago. So let's have to be careful. He boots it long. Boyce able to win it. Is there time for one more attack for one Knox? Bobbling around in the midfield. It's defended away, but this will be a Madison throw. And there's the full-time whistle. And this May evening belongs to the Mingos. 3 big points for forward Madison to keep them right in the early hunt in Group 2 of the Jägermeister Cup. As it finishes tonight, forward Madison 1 Knoxville 0. Matt Glazer and his side celebrate victory in front of another big crowd at Bree Stevens. As we'll show you our play of the match momentarily, presented by Dairyland Insurance. It was the moment that won the game tonight in the 19th minute. It was begun by Derek Gebhardt, who won the ball initially. Took the initial shot, which was deflected. It came right back to him, though, and he flashed it past Sean Lewis. And that settled it, as it turned out. Both teams had chances, not a ton. A well-defended game. And Matt Glazer celebrates another victory for his side. They're unbeaten in league play. They've now won 2 of 3 in Jägermeister Cup play. And they are very much in contention in Group 2 now after 3 rounds out of 8. Back to wrap things up with highlights and full-time stats after this.
Storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. A 1-0 win for the home side tonight. Forward Madison defeating 1 Knoxville tonight by that 0-0 as we see our man of the match presented by Festival Foods. It is the goal scorer, Derek Gephardt, who settled it in the 19th minute. He deservedly takes the plot. It's played really well, too. He's involved in a lot of things in the attack for Forward Madison this evening, besides that goal, which, again, he started that sequence by winning the ball and then finished it himself. Our save of the match. There weren't a lot for Bernd Shipman to make tonight, but he had to make this one in the first half from Nshuti Innocent. That is presented by Electric E-Bikes. Bernd Shipman with another clean sheet. That is his 16th all-time for Forward Madison over the last 2 years. He is the club leader all-time in that regard, and he adds to his total here tonight. Full-time highlights, as those are presented tonight by Just Coffee Cooperative. And we'll see another look at Derek Gephardt's match-winning goal. Again, you see him win the ball initially with that tackle. Initial shot blocked, fell kindly, and he took full advantage. You can't control the breaks, but when you get them, you have to take advantage, and that's exactly what he does here. And that's exactly what Forward Madison are doing more and more this year. We talked about how they weren't opportunistic enough in the attack the last couple of years. That held them back from reaching their goals, but they are showing much more clinicality this year. They almost had a second goal in the early stages of the second half. Watch Christian Cheney here. He surges in. Looks like he's touched it around Sean Lewis. Nope, not quite. Lewis somehow able to acrobatically reach out at full stretch and tip it around. And that denied Cheney his goal tonight, but it turned out to still be enough for Forward Madison as we see our full-time stats presented by Rhyme. 8 shots for the Mingos, 10 in the end for Knoxville, both with just 3 on target. Possession ended up in Knoxville's favor as they were chasing the game for most of the second half. Just a handful of corners in the game. 5 yellow cards for Forward Madison, but they were able to keep 11 on the pitch. They were able to keep the clean sheet, and all 3 points tonight puts Knoxville in a pretty tough spot in Group 2. They are rock bottom of that group with just 3 points from their opening 3 games. And their goal differential is the worst in the group as well. Still time for them to rally, but Knoxville not able to do enough in the attack here tonight, and they lose out by 1-0. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast this evening, and for our entire great production crew, I'm Donnie Barnes. On a beautiful evening in Madison at Bree Stevens Field, it was the Mingos who take the points this evening. It ends tonight in Madison, in the capital of Wisconsin. Forward Madison FC 1, Knoxville SC 0.